Okay, I'm off to a real late start because this, which contains the two of the three things, didn't get delivered until after I started the stream. So I had to wait until after in order to go out there, get it, and start recording. I mean, in theory, I could have probably gotten it in the middle of the stream, but I wouldn't have been able to start recording. If I tried to record before the stream, I only would have had this and the Switch games that I'm about to show. So somehow I completely failed to cut the paper along here. Like, maybe I didn't cut any of the paper. It's being highly tenacious. And you should normally be careful about cutting towards you. Boy Scout rule. But I'm a lazy fuck right now. I'm just trying to get this over with without, you know, rushing through the actual important anime part of it. Okay, cool. I'll put that aside. And then somehow I get the stuff on the inside out. Inside out. Okay, and like I said, before I go and show this, oh look, I got a bunch of fucking Switch games. Basically, I actually went there to get New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, because we may be starting to do gaming stuff, and having some good multiplayer options are good. And this one has Peachette, which started the whole Bowsette thing. I got Galmetal World Tour Edition. It's actually a kind of neat looking cover. It sounds like gameplay wise, the original version didn't score too notably. This one seems to score a little bit better. I guess I'll find out. Yeah, I guess just order. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, which, you know, it's a good 4-player game. Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Excuse me, these are good multiplayer gaming options. And Katamari Damacy Reroll, which I think is a remake of the first one, which is good because I kind of would be interested in playing it. Anyways, stuff. Fate Apocrypha Limited Edition Blu-ray box set number 2. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. I'm just looking for the way into this fellow. Let's see. Let's begin by taking these out so I can take this off and take a look at the full image. I do not know what to make of it. We've got an Aniplex thing. We'll put it in there like that. So, on the bottom we have an animation material too, which look more wordy than picturey, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Here we have 1 and 2, which are discs 1 and 2, which have persons, some symbol things, transmutation circle or something, magic circles 3 and 4. He kind of looks like a Birdman. Not exactly, but anyways. Stuff. I don't even remember what was in the Fate Apocrypha 1. Next up we have Sailor Moon Super S, the movie. Actually, I guess we should take a look at these things first, because this says bonus material and package. Original soundtrack 2, that was probably one of the things. I'm not going to look. Probably discs 3 and 4. Deluxe booklet. Box illustrated features and bonus. Yeah, cool stuff. I guess looking at Japanese and English audio, English subtitles, PVN, CM's collection tech list OBED. And then in here, I see a region A, I see a DVD. Region 1, of course. Wouldn't be anything else. 2-disc Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. 1080 Amy's First Love featurette. Oh, nice. English and Japanese stereo audio, English subtitles, English cast interviews, trailers, and more. For the first time, completely uncut and remastered. Does this mean that at this point, the only things they have left remaining of the old Sailor Moon? Oh, nice. It's nice when the slipcover and the internal art differ. The only thing remaining is Sailor Stars? Are we finally on the verge of getting Sailor Stars on DVD Blu-ray? I fucking hope so. Sailor Stars was entertaining. And over here we have, I see DVD and the camera and me in the reflection, and here would be the Blu-ray. Blu-ray region A. So, nice, simple internals. Eventually I will get this to start inserting on one of these sides, and then it's doomed. Last but not least, my girlfriend is Shobitch, which I think is short for Shoujo Bitch, which I think is supposed to mean that, I think that's her. Really hard to tell. I see it's got an English dub. I see it's region A, 10 episodes plus OVI and 2 discs. What do you do when the girl of your dreams is trying too hard to be the girl of your dreams? That doesn't sound like bitch. Unless it's supposed to be like submissive person sort of stuff instead of... I don't know. I can't even think of all the words to use to... Microphone is on. Not that that's a problem, it's just annoying because it's jumping in the corner. Jesus. I'm kind of curious about it. I'm just kind of worried that they would describe someone as a Shobitch, and that doesn't sound like a good thing per se. So it might be one of those ones where the personalities might turn me specifically off. I don't know. Here's this week's anime DVD collection update. I think I had not finished watching The Ancient Magus' Bride. I was kind of remembering talking about how it had a good feel to it, and how you couldn't quite tell where it wants to go at the end, but it felt like the direction was good. And it's interesting because you can't really talk too much more about that because this is only the first core, and I do believe there's 2 cores of this season. But in terms of where it ended in this first DVD, if that had been all the anime is, that would actually have been pretty okay. It's not like it introduced anything for which you're like, well, I want to see that person suffer. Or something, you know, like really emotionally challenging like that. Instead, there's kind of a niceness, growing environment sort of thing. And there's a little teaser for the second core, which is kind of teasing stuff that is maybe not completely outside of question for what the first core introduced, but is still, it feels like it will lead to a different place per se. It was just all really neat. I wouldn't call it like super engrossing per se, but it was still just a lot of really neat little stuff. I don't know if I can talk about too much more about it. And to be honest, it is a little 11 p.m. I am recording this really late in the day. Next up, I watched the second half of ReZero starting Life in Another World. And I guess I could see what my brother was talking about in terms of it not being fun, or not liking the second core. And the truth of the matter is, I guess I'm trying to think what I should do. So, how I should describe it without being too spoiler, but while giving people an idea of what to expect. So basically, when you watch ReZero, the first episode, you can kind of tell the main character, he's got a kind of positive, but a kind of ugly narcissism to his attitude that gets broken down a bit over the first core. And you're like, okay, well that actually worked out. It started off a little rough, but you know, he's starting to learn his lessons, and then it feels like here in the second core, it sets things up where it almost feels like it's drifting away from him, and I guess because of that, he becomes worse of a character than he's ever been. So it felt like the series took 2 steps forward and then 100 steps back. And then where it had to go after that was a bit of a slog, but when it finally did get through that, it did finally feel like, okay, they've went the place that felt like the first half kind of went, but it felt like it was more complete in this one. Like they kind of had a better idea of where they wanted to be and the implications of stuff and stuff. So overall, I would say it was actually pretty good, but I can definitely understand how for some people when they reach this second half here, it may be kind of hard to continue going on. And I'm not going to say that the stuff after it is definitely the best stuff in the series. It could be. It really depends on kind of what you enjoy about the series. And I think First Core kind of encourages you to enjoy this aspect where the main character is kind of slowly becoming a better person, and in the second core, because it takes so many steps back and then so many steps forward, it could feel like it's a little cheaper potentially. So I would understand if people actually thought that and said that, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's out of place for what the series has done. It just felt like it kind of turned it up a notch in a bit. So it's okay. You know, that concept, and overall I found it to be an enjoyable series. I'm not sure if there's going to be more to it, because it's weird because the box set is big, like there could be a second season where this gets put in there, but it feels like good stuff got told, and it's very dangerous for it to go on from where it is right now, because I think it can only sour expectations. Anyways, pretty good. And then last but not least, I started up Cardcaptor Sakura. Actually, this isn't last or least, but I did start up Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card, and I think I'm about 5 episodes in, and it's actually surprisingly, I'm going to say surprisingly okay. And what I mean is, if you kind of liked some of the atmosphere and interactions of the old Cardcaptor Sakura, that's actually captured pretty well in here, which is surprising because you look at the character designs and like, they look like they kept the idea, but they're slightly sharper enough that you're not sure that it's you're not sure if it's the same, but then you watch it and the mannerisms are exactly the same, exactly like you would want. So it's pretty good. The only real problem I would say is this new set of cards, at least 5 episodes in, still doesn't really feel like a logical progression in the series. Unlike the original story where, oh, we introduced the cloud cards, that felt natural. And then the star cards, well, that actually felt like a natural evolution of the cloud cards. And I guess I'm not going to talk about here too much why, because I thought they introduced that early enough with the star cards, and when the star cards were present, there were still cloud cards to get. So that mix of all that stuff, yeah. So overall, I'm going to continue watching it, hopefully enjoying it. Hopefully it will make more sense before the end of this 13 episodes, because right now it's playing a mystery for the sake of mystery, and from the magical perspective, it doesn't work out as good. This Cardcaptor Sakura as a series is like, it sets something mysterious in front of you, but you're following a path right now that isn't so mysterious. Well, anyways, that's that. But then I remembered I also watched some Dragon Ball Super with my friend. I think we did not finish set 6. So let's see. We watched until that, and we saw some stuff. It was entertaining, the stuff we watched, in my opinion. There is some issue where I do kind of know where they want to go in a certain respect, and they're still teasing it. It's something that I've seen present there that I just don't want to say, because if you're following this from this point, then I don't want to spoil it for you, and I don't want to spoil it for my friend, and so I'm just waiting for it to happen. I've made predictions about short-term things that are happening, like, oh yeah, this is going to happen to that guy, because it's obvious in that regard. But anyways, I think that about sums up all the stuff I watched. I mean, I watched more Superman animated series, but that's more of that, and that's good. But not much else to really talk about. Alright, I guess I'm going to process these videos, probably, or process this video, post it after midnight, which will be unfortunate for a lot of y'all, but, you know, they didn't deliver it until pretty late, so what can you do other than have a nice evening and have a nice week?